This is the G20FH11 oil-filled radiator, and the fault with this was it was just completely dead. The first thing I did was to check the fuse in the plug, and then after the fuse in the plug was found to be alright, we're switching it on. The lights on here were also dead when we switched it on. It's unplugged at the moment. So I suspected an open circuit lead. So I put my meter leads across the plug. You get your digimeter or your multimeter, and you put them across the plug there, from that pin to that pin, and see if you get a bleep or a reading on your resistance. And it was completely open circuit. So the next thing we do is to take the control panel off. Now I could see no screws, there was no way of getting this panel off. There was nothing there, nothing underneath. So how does this side come off so we can get at it? Well, the answer is this. I had a good look underneath and a careful look, because I've never actually taken one of this particular model to pieces before. And underneath, going across, I noticed underneath there was this spring going across. Now this holds together the two ends of this piece, which goes across the last fin, cooling fin on the radiator, like that, and that holds the two sections together. So we remove the spring from underneath, which goes across there, as I've said, and then there is something else attaching it. Now if you look on the top of the radiator, then there's a pink plate, a plastic plate goes across here. Now you have to prise that off gently and you'll find a screw there. So good, we got the end piece off, so that now just lifts off, but you won't lift it off straight away, because down the bottom here there are two lugs. Now those two lugs there, these two lugs here, this one and this one, these are bent up tight underneath the first fin, cooling, heat radiating fins on the oil-filled radiator, so you have to bend them slightly and pull it off. So then what we've got inside then is we've got our mains lead coming in. Now there's your positive, there's the negative. Let's just point these out really easy. Right, there's your positive lead coming in, and there's your negative. So you can check each one of these leads between the plug and here to check for open circuit on the lead coming in. Now the positive lead comes in here, goes through your barrier strip, some people call it a connector block, and then comes out the other side. So it goes in there, it comes out here. And if you follow this red lead hop, you'll see it comes up here and it goes to this thermal cutout. That's a safety device. And it comes out here from the thermal cutout. It comes back to the barrier strip. It doesn't go to the negative. It simply goes through the barrier strip to another red lead here. This red lead, as you can see, comes along here carrying a positive voltage, and then it goes through a thermostat again. Now this is another safety device, and it comes up through here, and we've got the slightly off colour lead in the middle here, and it comes up here to the real thermostat. This is the one that you control on the knob from the outside, and there's the knob there. That's to control the temperature for the user control. It then comes through here, goes through your various switches for what heat setting you want, whether it's the maybe 1 or 2 kilowatts, might be 1 to 3 kilowatts. And anyway, as it's gone through the switching, it then comes out along this red lead here, goes through here, through these heat resistance protective. These are heat resistant, these are. And it goes through your elements, either 1 or 2 elements, and then comes back to the switch, out through the neutral, the blue one, and to the neutral side, and back out again. Now, I know we're talking about AC here, but just because that's the way we've already spoke of it, about positive going to negative, we'll continue talking like that. On alternating current, of course, it's running both ways, on both positive and negative, but that's just confusing the issue, isn't it? Still, so that was the fault, it was dead. So what was it? Well, the problem was this. This has a resettable cutout on it here. That button there. And that was protruding out. So we reset that because I'd already checked for a reading across here and it was completely open circuit. Now, when we push the button back in actual fact, I used my bleeper on the meter and it didn't bleep, it's quicker. Push that back in, it reset it. Okay, so that's fine. The radiator gets hot. But that's not the point. The point is, why did this go in the first place? Well, it's either that clothes have been put over the radiator and caused it to overheat across these cooling fins, which people do, and you mustn't do that, you know? And it blows this cutout. Or maybe something else is wrong. Maybe they didn't put clothes on there, and maybe this cutout springed out as a safety device because the radiator is getting dangerously hot. The reason why, so we have to find out the reason why. Now the reason why is this. When we reset that, the radiator worked, but I've examined this thermostat control here, which are £9 on the web. If you just, on the underside of that, you'll see there's numbers and there's a model number on it. I can't remember what it was, but just take that off. You'll have to push these wedges to the side slightly, not too hard so you break them. There's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these thermostats are held in by 2 screws, that one there and that one there. Undo those 2 screws from the other side once you've got the cover off, that cover there, okay, and that'll also give you access to the knob then, so you can pull the knob off. And then on the other side of this thermostat there are numbers, and just put the numbers into Google and it will come up with this switch. They're £9. The problem is this, that thermostat is not operating, it's stuck. Sometimes you may even find that the contacts which are inside here may be welded together, and so it won't switch off. So it doesn't switch off, the radiator gets hotter and hotter, and blows the thermal cutout. You reset that, put it back together, your radiator will come on, it will get hotter and hotter, and you'll be back where you started from. So that was the fault on this, it was that thermostat. So now we're just going to reassemble it. It's quite simple, and so when you reassemble it, just remember when you put this back on, hook these 2 lugs underneath the bottom of the first cooling fin under there, and then when you put that on there, you must remember to put the screw in the top up here into this bracket here. The screw goes, as you can see, into that bracket there, and then you'll put your surround on it, which clamps the edge of this here to the first heat radiating fin on here, which is what carries the oil, and your spring underneath, which goes from one side to the other, and the spring is, I've lost it. Now here's the spring, there's the spring there, and that hams it together, and there we are. And that's the fault on this oil-filled radiator, and now all I've got to do with this particular appliance is order the new part, which is, as I say, it's going to cost me £9, probably postage, so it may cost me, I'd say, about 12 quid. There we are, and that's my little adventure for the day. Hope it was some use to you, and this is Accordioncafe signing out, saying thanks very much and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, bye bye for now.